All right, so we're going to shift gears from our last couple of videos. We've been talking a lot about weight loss, but my friend Nathan's joined us today because we had a pretty cool story when it comes to stem cell biologics and regenerative medicine. Nathan, when did you remind me the time frame here? It seems like it was April.
Right. I ran my first race of the summer in April. It was a 30K, and after I was done, I felt pretty good. But my Achilles, I ruptured, tore, hurt it. First time I've ever done that. Right. It was mid-April.
Right. So you went to the doctor. Your Achilles was torn. You had this big lump in there, but it hadn't detached. So your calf muscle wasn't stretched up into the leg. But
right. It wasn't a full rupture.
Injured.
Yeah, it was just some kind of a tear. I don't know how big. I never did an MRI, but it was definitely, I could not walk. The doctor immediately put me in a boot and said, immobilize this for a month. Come back in, we'll reassess and go from there. And, I told him I had a big race in July, and it was like, nah. And no fault of the doctor. That's just what he's seen and what he's dealt with. But, that hit me pretty hard. And so I went home, got the boot right then, went home and started thinking, what am I going to do? I don't like that diagnosis.
That's when you reach out. So we're neighbors. We've been friends for a while. Nathan reaches out to me, and I just went over the options with you.
Right.
Anybody with regenerative medicine, there's several things that are available to us, from low-level laser therapy, which we did in conjunction. Mm-hmm. There's platelet-rich plasma, or PRP, which we talked about, which you're not an old guy by any stretch of the imagination, but maybe we were a little past that prime.
Right.
There's amniotic fluid products available to us, and then there's these stem cell biologics. That's the direction we went with this. Mm-hmm. We injected the injured area. Mm-hmm. And what happened after that?
So injected the site there, put the boot back on for maybe 2 more weeks, I think, max.
So now we're bumping into early May, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Early to mid-May, right in there. I think I limped on it for up to 2 weeks before I came to you. I'm just thinking I would maybe give it a little rest, or you know what I mean?
Right.
But it wasn't doing nothing. It was getting worse. I would try and work it a little bit, and that wasn't going anywhere. So it was probably, I would say, early to mid-May by the time I got the injection. Gave it a couple weeks with the boot on to at least heal up a little bit, and then started doing some rehab.
So if I remember right, there was 2 things that you had a permit, a whitewater permit.
Yes,
in June.
That's correct.
That was not a once in a lifetime deal, but it was a pretty lucky that you got that permit.
Right.
You wanted to go on that trip.
Uh-huh.
And then we had the race in July.
Correct.
Long story short, you did both of those things.
I did both of those. Yep. June 6th or 9th is when I went down, did a high water float on the Middle Fork. I had some friends I went with, and I was able to do that. Felt great. And I had been rehabbing for a couple weeks at that point, enough to walk and feel like I could get on. I didn't want to be a liability, be floating in the water and not be able to walk when I got out, or who knows what. In the backcountry, I can't be a liability. But it was feeling great, so I did the rafting trip, got back, and continued to stretch, to strengthen, and rehab. And then July 16th was the 50K ultra I did in Palisades. And 7,200 feet elevation, 30 miles, and not 1 ounce of pain or discomfort or anything. That was great. Well, not of my Achilles. There was some other pain and discomfort, but that's normal.
That's running.
Yeah, that's running for you.
So instead of being in a boot through most of the summer,
right,
you did this. You worked with us with the stem cell biologics,
mm-hmm.
and you got those summer activities in, and it's still feeling.
It healed up great. I mean, I have nothing else to compare it to because I've never injured an Achilles, but all the stories and everything I've read and everybody I've talked to, it was 6 months minimum, but it was probably 6 weeks until I was to 2 months, and I was back doing what I love. I say love to do. It's a challenge that I love to do. Let's put it that way.
It's like those hard things I tell my kids.
Yeah,
it's hard right now. You don't like it right now, but you're gonna look back and love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good memories. A lot of good pictures.
Yeah, they are good pictures.
Good times. And I've done a couple races since. Did one up in Harriman. Did 25K last week ago Saturday. But yeah, still haven't had any problems or any. It's been great.
That's awesome.
That's all I can say.
Thank you for sharing that story with us.
Yeah.
And, there's others that are going to gravitate towards that because.
Oh, that's great.
Keep it up.
I plan to.
All right. Thanks, Nathan.
Hey.